Hello, welcome to Simply Syndicated Movie News, home of movie news on Simply Syndicated, for those of you who didn't figure it out from the title. That can't have been.
So it's not a pun.
It's not a pun. It's not a pun. Why did you do that? Have you been watching Come Fly With Me?
I beg your pardon?
You haven't? Okay, that's weird.
No, that was a Python quote.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's from the Dead Parrot sketch.
Oh, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pun. No, not a pun. What's that thing that's spelled the same backwards as forwards? A palindrome. It's not a palindrome. The palindrome of Bolton would be Notlob. Anyway.
Okay.
Lest I recite the whole sketch.
Yeah.
I can't quote Python. It's not as big over here as it is over there, you know.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But, you know, not that it's unpopular here. It's just not huge. And it's not the big hit with students that recite it a lot and stuff like that. I don't know. Some of it hasn't aged well, I think. But
maybe, you know what might be the reason for that is a lot of it, especially from the TV series, a lot of it was, you know, topical jokes on current events. And since we never got those anyway, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And am I right? With the 3 series and the 3rd series was quite poor.
Third one was pretty bad, yeah. After Cleese left, the Mr. Neutron sketch and stuff like that was not good.
But hey, I've mentioned before, my parents had a breakup level argument before Dennis Moore came on the TV and forced them to sit and laugh. So were it not for that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So,
and I won't sing the Dennis Moore song either. Let's move on before I start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, movie news. We've got stuff because
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have. So, what have we got? Okay, there's actually only 2 things because I think, to be fair, this was thought of last night to do this. So, oh no, 3 things.
3 things.
I'm 3, sir. Sorry.
Do you know what? To a certain extent, I'm kind of ashamed of all of us that it's taken until now for someone to think, why don't I just post news stories in our Slack chat room? Like, we're all smart people. We're all on Slack. We've all been thinking about it. No one thought of this. That's terrible.
Actually, no, not no one. Shane has done it from time to time, and he's not even on the show.
That's true.
That makes it worse. That makes it worse. Yeah.
Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane. Thank you. I mean, yeah, because he'll come in and post us a link to a news story. Why don't you talk about this? Which is great and actually helpful. And none of us saw him doing that and thought, why don't we post our own ones there?
God. Well, because Tumblr.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, oh dear. Anyway, so we found a new way to post news stories throughout the week. So we're going to look at some of those. Okay, what's this first one? Right. Why Star Wars is looking to get away from legacy characters. Of course.
They're getting old. They're all older.
Simple as that, really. Do you want someone else to play Luke Skywalker? Do you want
Not
that?
particularly.
Because that's how you get that unless we get away from legacy characters.
Well, we're already getting another person playing Han Solo, so and Chewbacca and Lando.
Right, they're getting away with that because it's young Han Solo. That's the only way. If they carried on going forward, I mean they can't now, obviously. Spoilers, but if they were to do that, then you couldn't do it going forward. I mean, and do you know what I think? Marvel are going to start running into this soon. Before too long.
Well, they already have, considering Stewart's not playing the role anymore. And
I'm hoping that will mean the end of X-Men movies.
No.
Like, just stop fucking making them now. Right?
Not quite.
They're going to shoot their cash cow. Yeah, that's going to happen.
No, someone shot it for Patrick Stewart has shot the cash cow for them. It's done with. Oh, no.
They still have McAvoy to make a few films still.
That's true. He'll do anything. He was in an M. Night Shyamalan film, so... I mean, God. You know,
and it was actually good.
I know they say,
X-Men Apocalypse made decent money, didn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was
it
a
did.
piece of shit.
Well, but it
Batman
made
versus
money, and that's all they
Superman
care
made
about.
money.
Compared to Last Stand, it was a masterpiece. Okay,
I thought
let's,
Last Stand
this
let's
is
wasn't
put it into
bad.
perspective.
Oh no, hang on, I'm getting mixed up. Which is the one with Oscar Isaac for no reason?
That's Apocalypse.
That was Apocalypse.
Right,
Yeah.
that one was awful.
but not as bad as Last Stand, which was the third original X-Men
Yes,
movie.
sorry, that one was also shit. That's true. I don't know though, because in Last Stand, at least you had the last half an hour. Because,
But even that wasn't good.
No, it wasn't.
But Apocalypse was so bad.
But Olivia Munn.
She was not
In
in it,
tight
right?
clothing.
There was a computer animation that looked quite like Olivia Munn for a lot of it. and Olivia Munn's head was in a lot of it, but other than that, not really. You know, it's
And Jennifer Lawrence. She
Yeah,
she wasn't in it as much as she had been in previous films, because she got big enough to say, I'm not doing this film naked anymore.
Well, she's actually in a suit. Rebecca Marmain was naked. In Jennifer Lawrence's case, she had a terrible reaction to the makeup, so they put her in a suit.
that's another thing crushed for me then.
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
Oh well.
But anyway, I think it's a good thing that the Star Wars movies are going to get away from the legacy characters. As much as I love them, you know, the one thing that Lucas did right with the Star Wars, universe was creating a fantastic fucking universe. Let's go play in it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, God, I can't think of any other popular science fiction thing that's branched out into using other characters and being successful with it. Just trying to...
Star Trek?
Oh, shit, yeah. I remember now. Yeah, it can work. It can work. So, yeah, why not do it? Why not do it? Mark Hamill's depressingly old now. That's true. Although I guess he's more depressed about it than I am, but...
Well, he's what? He's in his mid-60s now, isn't he? He was only a few years older than Carrie Fisher.
It feels so wrong.
He's not really that old, please.
I know.
He's only about 15 years older than me, and that's when you're 20, a 15-year difference seems like huge. Now I'm like, you know what?
It's not that long.
not that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what really all boils down to is when my dad took me to see Return of the Jedi, I was 4. And I feel life has changed for me more over the last sort of 34 years than it has for Mark Hamill. I think just one of those things. But yeah.
When Empire Strikes Back came out, I dressed up like Han Solo.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will
as close
say,
as I could get.
I will say, when I was at the Game of Thrones thing last week, there were people dressed up in the audience.
Hi, you brought flowers. But my family just got home. You want to say hi real quick?
Yes.
Oh,
We haven't had a Sharon cameo in a long time.
We haven't.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
How's your new doggy?
He's great. Hey. And somebody said that burrito is nice and they hope he's spicy.
What have you been watching a lot lately? You've been watching Young Justice?
I've been watching Young Justice a lot lately.
What is that? What's it about?
It's about young people. It's about Robin Kid Flash. It's about Robin Kid Flash and Aquaman.
And Miss Martian.
And Miss Martian.
And Batman shows up.
And Batman shows up.
And so does Superman.
And Superman shows up.
And a girl named Artemis, who is related to Green Arrow somehow, but I haven't figured that out yet. Right?
Right.
Do you like it?
I like it.
It's a fun show. It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, say bye-bye, honey.
I want to say one more thing to them.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I bought flowers.
Yeah, we
you
heard.
bought the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You have money?
No. Mom, I picked out them and then Mommy buy them.
Oh, okay. They're very pretty.
but I'm not going to feed them to the dog or the cat.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these in my bedroom. And I also have a fairy doorway and a toy fairy, and I can decorate my fairy doorway.
Okay. I'm sure I'll find out what that means later. Okay. Go on in. Would you do me a favor and shut my door on your way in?
Yeah.
Thank you, honey. Okay. They were supposed to be going to see Beauty and the Beast. I actually managed to fob that off on my wife, so I didn't have to go see it. But the show they tried to get to was sold out, so they just went and got ice cream instead, and they're going to go tomorrow afternoon.
I was just watching the original before we started recording. That's what I was watching.
Oh.
It bothers me now. I have many problems.
I have
with
so little desire to see either version.
Do you know what? I still think it's worth watching. The original, I haven't seen the new one and know nothing, so I'm not commenting on that. But I think the original is a fantastic movie. There are inherent problems with the story of Beauty and the Beast that you can't necessarily blame Disney for, but it's a good movie. It's an alright movie. To be honest, it's certainly no worse than Little Mermaid. Yeah,
We shan't go down that rabbit hole again. But
No.
God, I hate that story. At least the way it's told now.
yeah. Anyway, so Alien Covenant news. I know nothing about this. Does one of you do you want to anyone?
It's the sequel to Prometheus,
Right.
which right there should tell you all you need to know. However, Ridley Scott has apparently finally grown a pair and said, "This is Alien, damn it." And it's going to be much more akin to the original Aliens. So they're saying that it's going to be scarier and gorier and everything.
Yeah, and they said it'll be more directly linked to the first Alien film.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's taking place way after the end of Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I put the story up is that Scott has come out and said that Noomi Rapace will kind of sort of be in it.
Why is that significant?
Just because it's indicating that this is not going to be like, at the end of Prometheus, we see Noomi Rapace's character and what's the guy that played David that everybody loves?
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender's head get in an alien ship and fly off. And so we're expecting, that the next film is going to pick up shortly thereafter. Apparently it's not. But Noomi Rapace is going to be in the movie, but I forget the exact wording of it, but it was basically, she's going to be kind of in it, sort of.
Probably in like a film clip of her
flashback
log
or logs or something.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But I'm going to say this for the record. It's going to take a lot of people whose opinions I trust really well telling me this movie isn't a sack of shit for me to bother seeing it. Because Prometheus, I have not been so mad at a movie since Independence Day. Because I thought Prometheus looked awesome. I was so looking forward to it. And boy, was it just a shit pile.
Oh, you weren't the only one who's fooled, Rick.
And what gets me even more is all of the people that are like, all the articles you see online. Now they finally, backed off on it after however many years. But they were like, here's, you just didn't get the story. Here, this will explain the story. I'm like, no, I got the fucking story. It was terrible. It was stupid. It was lame. Whoever wrote it, fucking Lindelof, didn't know anything about science. They're like, we just came hundreds of millions of miles. That means you're not even out of the goddamn solar system yet, you idiots. Mm-hmm. I could go on about Prometheus the way I could go on about The Phantom Menace. They both are equal in my opinion.
Well,
I'm done.
I am still so not excited to see Alien Covenant. I am immune to alien excitement, I think.
But yeah, you don't like the franchise anyway, so you're lucky that way.
Yeah,
for once.
That sounds. I don't know. I don't dislike it. I just don't care. I'm ambivalent towards it. I'm not bothered. And this is just another sort of great. There's another Alien movie. I might well see it and think it's okay. And so I don't know. I'm certainly not excited about whoever's in it or not in it or whatever. I don't. I'm as excited about the Blade Runner sequel. You know, and I'm sure there are people like me who are shitting themselves with excitement right now at merely mentioning the fact that there's going to be another Blade Runner movie, and I don't care. I didn't hate it.
Can I admit another heresy?
You've never seen
I'm not
Blade
a huge
Runner?
fan of the original movie.
You were not a fan of it. Well, a lot of people weren't back in the day.
No, that's not a heresy. I feel the same way about it as I do about some of the Alien movies. It's there. It exists. I know that at the time it was mind-blowing with the way it looked and all of that. I get its significance.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
It wasn't. No. Okay. Let me give a little bit of context. Maybe it was mind-blowing to the general public who weren't particularly well heeled in the realm of hard science fiction.
Okay.
I'll grant you that. But when it came out, there had been so many books, along that template, that when it came out, I was like, all right, here's another, megalopolis dystopia kind of thing. I thought Judge Dredd did it a lot better and was more fun.
Fair enough. I bought the book years ago and have never once opened the file. Never done it. I do intend to one day. I don't know.
Well, Blade Runner, it took me several viewings to get into it, but I will say I initially watched it because I heard it was also a noir story, and I love noir stories, which it is. It's mainly a noir story set in a near-future setting. And that's why I was like, oh, it's a great noir movie, but I don't get the whole hoopla about it being a sci-fi. Except for the fact the replicants were in it, But as soon as I watched it a few more times, I got it. But it's not for everyone.
It's not bad. I didn't dislike it. I just don't understand the reverence it has.
If anything, it's just a reason for me to hate Daniel Craig. I'm still never forgiving him for saying it's his favorite Aliens movie. I get it.
Oh dear.
I get it. And I'm sorry to those of you who've heard me rant about this many times since it happened. But I get that when you're on the red carpet at a movie premiere and you're Daniel Craig, you get asked some dumb fucking questions. I get that. And you don't necessarily have an answer prepared for everything. But at the premiere of Cowboys and Aliens, when they said, what's your favorite cowboy movie and what's your favorite Aliens movie? And he said, a Western and Blade Runner. No, Daniel. No. Might as well have said The Sound of Music. There's the same number of aliens in The Sound of Music as there is in Blade Runner.
Well, to be fair, Ridley Scott has gone on to say that Aliens universe and Blade Runner universe are one and the same.
And were any of those aliens in Blade Runner, I wouldn't be angry at Daniel Craig, but they weren't, so I am. That's all there is to it. In fact, I seem to remember that coming up at the day I spent at Pinewood, and there was kind of, if you see him, you are not to fucking say anything. I feel like that was mentioned. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Like, you are not. You will get kicked out. Okay. Don't tell Daniel Craig off if you see him at work. Let's move on then. A massive change is coming to the Netflix movie rating system. The earth will quake at this. Because, some people actually pay attention to these things. They're changing their 5-star rating system on Netflix to being a thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
So, like Facebook.
YouTube. They did that. Because
okay.
It turned out everything was either a 5 or a 1. on YouTube. You only click the thing if you love something or you hate something. You never click the thing if you are just okay with it. No one does that. You have to provoke that emotional response that inspires a human being to say what they think about a thing. And that means everything is either a 5 or a 1. So they found out on YouTube all the videos had pointless ratings. So Netflix have discovered the same thing and are doing the same solution to the problem that YouTube came up with. Like it, dislike it. And
what I really don't pay attention to movie ratings.
Alison does. She sits there, look, oh, that one's only got 3 stars on Netflix, so I don't know if I'll watch it. Like, that's fucking meaningless. Who's given it 3 stars?
There are 15 people in the world whose opinions I give a fuck about, and none of them clicked any of those stars. So I don't give a shit what Netflix says a movie is rated.
Exactly. So, that's the only reason because I actually sat and rated as many movies as I could. Right? When Netflix first came out, I sat and did that for ages because you could just refresh the screen. It's like, yeah, what do you think of this movie? And I like just telling nothing what I think. And first of all, I kind of want compensation for that time now that was all meaningless.
Yeah, well.
So there is that. I've totally lost my train of thought now. It really was just that I was pissed off about. I spent ages doing it. No, it was good. It was a way for the Netflix system to know what I liked and how much I liked it. And now it's just going to know whether I like something or not, which is not as granular. But I get why they're doing it, and I haven't paid attention to the ratings. Did you know those ratings are not actually ratings that someone's given them? Right? The star ratings on Netflix are what they think you will give it.
Okay. Didn't realize that.
Yeah. But no one knows that. So it's kind of meaningless. It only works if you know that that's what it is. And they did a very bad job of communicating that that's what it's doing. So it's meaningless. I support the change. Maybe this will be useful. In actual fact, Netflix have got so much to work on as well. It's so hard to find stuff. You're only looking through a little sample of what they've got when you do look at the menu system. I miss stuff all the time. Which is why we have an end section of this show, really.
Yeah.
It's good to point stuff out. So I'm on board with the change.
I didn't even know Netflix had ratings. I never even noticed it.
So. Really?
Yeah.
It's clearly not a problem then. I don't think people will be that upset
don't
after
care.
all.
Don't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's it then. That's all the movie news we've got.
No, there was one more. There was one more.
What else do we have?
Which might spawn some conversation. I don't know. They're looking into doing a new Matrix film.
Yep.
And the story that came out this week is the absolute promise that it is not a reboot or a remake. It is going to be, if it happens, another movie in the Matrix universe.
Yeah, the rumor is it's going to be a prequel about Morpheus.
That's one of the possibilities. Yeah, going back, before. Now, of course, the story I read had to bring Keanu Reeves into it. Why not? And he said that if the Wachowskis are writing it, he's on board. If not, he doesn't want anything to do with it. I don't know that anyone has talked to either of them, either the Wachowskis or Keanu, about being involved in it at all. There's been talk for about 6 months now, if I'm not mistaken, about making a new Matrix film. And this just was the studios or whatever saying this is because, of course, the internet being the internet has been like, oh, you must not touch the perfection that is the Matrix.
Oh, please. The second two films are shit.
It's awful. Don't do anything with it. Leave it alone. Let us all forget that it fucking happened.
And they're saying not a reboot, not a remake, just another Matrix film.
Yeah, don't though. That's really where I am with it. Don't just leave it, forget it. I think the Wachowskis are appalling filmmakers. They make exclusively shit films.
No, they've made some good ones.
Oh, everyone goes, oh, but Bound. Like, yeah, great. That is great that 25 years ago they made a good film. I would like another example of it by now.
I thought the first Matrix was good. That literally was groundbreaking, even though it's all cliche as shit now. That's because everybody else copied them. But yeah. I thought at the time it was pretty amazing.
I can't think of another movie franchise that started off so well and was destroyed so quickly and so brilliantly.
Highlander. Well, that too. Terminator.
Well, no, T2 was pretty good.
Yeah, they got two good films out of Terminator. Good. So, better than The Matrix. The last, they were just fucking awful. And I don't know, as time has gone on, I'm less okay with the core concept as well. I don't know how well I think it works.
It doesn't bear close scrutiny, but then how many science fiction concepts really do?
That's true.
Very few. Mm-hmm.
You know, Wrath of Khan. We all agree that Wrath of Khan is an awesome film, and it's got a plot hole big enough to fly a starship through.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the Reliant can detect a particle of preanimate matter, but they can't detect 30 fucking people on the planet.
I never realized that.
That bugs me every time I watch the movie, but I still love the movie.
Fair enough. That's going to bug me forever now. Oh, well.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But the Matrix films, I can't. We did a movies you should see on it, I think. Yeah, I know we did, because it's one that I considered editing again. I think. When did we do that? It was a very early one. I feel it necessary to look it up.
Probably was one of the in your first year, I would imagine.
I just do you know what? It's as a show, the point really what I'm hesitating to say is I think I said some fantastically transphobic things on that show.
Why?
Pardon?
But there are no trans characters in The Matrix?
No, but it was made by some. Sorry.
Well, that was before they transitioned, but yeah.
And
okay.
I will. It's one of those horrible things that you sort of. I don't even know if it's horrible. I used to say horrible things about a group of people. I do not do that now. It was episode 112, year 3. I was sort of 26, 27 years old. And I'm now 38. And I have evolved as a human being. I have changed. I have learned things. I have moved on in my life. I've, evolved as a human being. And the things that I might well have said horrify me today. So do I take that down and edit those out? Or do I leave that on the internet for the entire world to hear me say those things? And the conclusion I came to is I leave it on the internet. Because it's a record of me. It was a horrible thing, but that's where I was during episode year 3 of Movies You Should See, which was an extraordinarily long time ago now. And I kind of just leave it up. It's kind of like whitewashing my own history to change anything like that. And so, yeah, I decided just always leave it up. And plus, that would also mean that I would have to go through every single fucking episode of everything to find out if I ever said anything that current me disagrees with. And
there's some Make It So stuff that you'd have to scrub pretty hard.
There you go, you see. And I'd even forgotten about anything I'd said on Make It So ever over the years. But again, I leave it with the same defense. I was 25, 26 years old. I knew very little of the world, and now I know a lot more of it, and I've learned from it, which is, to me, a positive thing.
I'll just say that Android rape was a password of mine for a while or something.
No, I distinctly remember that I didn't say that, but in actual, I'm just thinking about it. I don't think that I would even worry about that at all. No, in fact, I don't, because I know that's there, and I've never worried about that. But yeah, I do feel I have remembered some of the things I said about the Wachowskis, and I feel like a piece of shit for having said it ever. You've got to leave it on there. And there's only fucking podcasting that does this to you. There's no other medium that sticks around this long and follows you around this much.
Well, YouTube now.
Well, it's the same thing though, pretty much. And people don't seem that hesitant to take things down off YouTube. Whereas if episode 116, 112 of movies you should see just wasn't on the list, people would ask why. So there you go. If you ever hear me say anything on a podcast that's horrible, please understand that I was once stupid and now have made steps to remedy that, and would never intentionally say something too horrible now anyway. Depends who you are, actually. Well, yeah.
I used to make terrible, I think about this a lot now, given my, podcasting history, and attempts to be more enlightened and stuff. And I think about some of the terrible jokes and comments and stuff I used to say growing up and in my youth and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we're all like that. It's just some of us now have an eternal record of it.
That's it. That's it. Mine are recorded and I sell subscriptions to listen to it. So,
the only other medium I can think of that could be remotely close is blogging, if you don't take any blogs down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, because this just came up when I was talking about the idea of me getting into politics. It's like, well, people dig up dirt on you. So I thought, well, they wouldn't have to. They could just get themselves a Simply Everything subscription and start transcribing. And
yes, but look at our president. It doesn't matter anymore.
That was the conclusion.
You can be an absolute ass.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I could confess to a murder on one of these shows. No one would give a shit. I could still be Prime Minister. That's true. Anyway, oh dear. Let's move on.
I think that's all the news.
That's all the news. It's still mainly politics. I mean, politics dominates just everything now.
Well, the problem is when you look up movie news, aside from a few things that are actually happening, then it just becomes, what did Hugh Jackman eat in between takes during the filming of Logan? Or what did it mean when this character stuck their finger in their ear during this? It's all a bunch of, the internet and the 24/7 news cycle, I think, has really, I realize it's kind of a cliche now, but it is. It's kind of fucked up. We've got such a glut of information, and yet people are still desperate to put out more so they can be the first ones to say this.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at Cinema Blend and movie news and stuff, and it's just 9/10 of their stories are just speculative or opinion or rumor or 5 years from now, this movie might be made. And then you read the story and it's like, if someone feels like writing it and funding it, and there's just nothing there.
We see it in the tech news a lot as well. You have to put out a blog post. So let's speculate what features have been cut from an iPhone that's not going to come out for 2 years.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was reading an article And halfway through, I sort of shook my head and woke up and wait, why are you reading this? It's fluff. It's nothing.
Yeah.
And it was most anticipated feature dropped from iPhone 8. Like, what? That's 2 iPhones away, and you've decided what feature has been dropped from it. What the fuck? This is meaningless. This is garbage. This is what does Hugh Jackman eat in between takes. That's what it is. It's just the technology equivalent. And I think that's what's caused us to have so much, the cult of celebrity that there is now. That's what this feeds. Kim Kardashian exists because someone's got to write a blog post. Exactly.
Hello, Paisley. And in the distance, a dog barks.
If only it was. Yeah. He's not even 3 floors below now. He's just on the 1 floor below. He's very close.
By the way, is Allison still destroying the basement and stuff, or
No.
how's that coming along?
Very slowly. Nothing has been done for days.
Okay.
We live in 1 room now. It's depressing as hell. We eat takeout food. Yeah, it's just all horrible. But there you go. We're getting there. We're still getting deliveries of things we need and things like that. So it's frustrating.
Is she doing all the work?
No.
Okay.
No. Lots, but no, not all
But
of it.
people are coming in and installing and fixing and stuff, right?
No, not really. Not yet, no. We've had an
you?
electrician in at one point to do something. But we're doing as much of it ourselves as we can.
Wait, you're doing work?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm impressed.
There you go.
Mhm.
There's heavy
Good on
things
you.
and stuff. Yeah. But it's taking ages. And we only just got we need to put plywood down over the floorboards before we can tile the floor. And we were waiting for the plywood to be delivered until this morning. So it's been taking ages.
Wow, you were talking about that 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we were.
Damn.
Yeah. It's taken ages. So things are going slowly. Because apparently the floorboards move with temperature, but the plyboard doesn't, and that needs to be the case for the tiles to go on properly.
Yeah, plywood's a special creature.
Yeah.
So it doesn't care what the temperature. It doesn't like moisture.
Yeah.
But temperature, it doesn't give a rat's ass about.
So it's actually, it's looking now like we'll have like a fridge freezer delivered and a dishwasher delivered and all this, and they'll just be added to the pile in the living room. It's our kitchen because they're still nowhere.
That purple is awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you. It looks great. I don't need to tell you who chose that. In fact, who chose all of it? Because I've not been involved at all. I have no opinion, so nothing was worth arguing about. Like, honestly, do whatever you want, because I don't care either way, so I'm just not going to be involved. It seemed like the right decision to make.
Well, if you had said, let's paint the kitchen purple, I'd have been like, God, no.
It's just
looking at the pictures, it's amazing.
Just one wall, just the back wall. The rest of it's grey. So it's multicolored, and it's just that has that one wall of color at the back. It looks fantastic. But
yeah,
there will be purple LED lighting throughout.
Oh, neat.
Apparently. Well, I know so because that's downstairs already. It's just not attached to anything. That's the problem. So yeah, we're getting there. Anyway, should we go into what we've watched? Because there is no news.
Sure.
Okay. I've been watching loads of stuff. Can I go first? I'm going first.
Go for it.
Do it.
Right. This week I binged Westworld.
Wait, what's it? Is it available? Oh, never mind. Someday I'm going to learn not to ask that question.
Actually, it is for me because it's actually on Now TV over here. Obviously, it's an HBO production. How available it is for each individual, I'm actually just checking that it is available on. In fact, it's not. So ignore all of that. I'm going to have to cut all that. Just don't ask that question ever. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Or
If anyone has an HBO Go password they want to share with me,
is it 2
my
words?
email address is.
I've only seen the first 3 episodes, so.
It was a very slow burner, and it took some getting into, but it blew my fucking mind by the end. It really did. It paid off. I was happy with it. And you know what? They've gotten a second series, but even if they hadn't, it kind of wrapped up in a kind of way. So I really enjoyed it. It had Ed Harris in throughout, which I didn't expect, and Anthony Hopkins in throughout, which I didn't expect, and Cyclops from the X-Men, whose name escapes me for now.
James Marsden getting shot every episode. Yeah. He was the Kenny of the show, basically.
He was.
He really is.
In many episodes, shot multiple times throughout the episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that happened a lot. But I really enjoyed it. And I think it should be binged. I think there's not necessarily filler, but I did feel there was a lot. Come on, can we just, get on with it? But it was good. Really good. Also, watch the movie if you haven't seen the movie, to our audience there.
I haven't watched it in years. Is it classically 70s slow as hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, just Yul Brynner being a badass, because he's a badass.
Does he ever say anything in the? Does he have any lines?
No, he has no lines in Westworld. But who cares?
Yeah, he just
Yul
looks scary.
Brynner.
Yeah, he just has to wear the hat and ride the horse and everything, and he does lots of that. So it's definitely worth watching. And yeah, I love what they did with the TV series. The nice reversal of roles and between who's the bad guy, the hunter and the hunted sort of thing. That was all very good, very interesting, very exciting and intriguing. And I can't wait for the second series now. Certainly more excited about that than I am the new Aliens movie.
Of course.
That was something. Now, what else have I been watching? The other night, I think it was last night. Doesn't matter. Shut up, Richard. We put on Netflix. Now, I don't think this will be on US Netflix. This is a UK thing. And it's a BBC TV show called People Just Do Nothing. And it's a sort of Office-style mockumentary kind of thing about a group of lads in West London who run a pirate radio station and their adventures and life and the people around them, that sort of thing. It was absolute genius. Absolute genius. Some wonderful moments, some brilliant characterization. The people playing the roles are absolutely spot on. And a special mention goes to their acting having taken MDMA, which was just fucking brilliant. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if I found out they were absolutely battered when they did that, and that's what they were just filming, but it was that good. It follows MC Grinder, who thinks he's fucking amazing. It's just shouting into a microphone. They're really not good. But if you can find the show and check it out, like I say, it's on Netflix in the UK. There are ways that American people will be able to see this one way or another.
I'm sure.
It is well worth checking out. Well worth.
Have you ever seen the movie Pirate Radio?
Now do you mean the one with Bill Nighy and lots of other people in?
Yes, and they're out at in the ocean.
It had a different name here. It was called The Boat That Rocked.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes, I have seen it. Very different, very different kind of thing. But yeah, we really did that. By the way, we really did have boats with pirate radio stations on in the North Sea. That's what happened. It's not that was a true story, but it's all true. If you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bizarre thing, but yes, young folk they used to have to get their pop music from people who were playing radio stations in boats out in the ocean. I don't know what to tell you, but that really was a thing. that really was a thing. So
the world before the internet was a very different place.
Yes, it was indeed. So people just do nothing. And also another BBC show. Sorry, I feel bad kind of recommending BBC stuff because I know it's.
I think a few British people listen to your show, so it's cool.
That's true. But I know it's harder for you guys to get hold of it. But another show they've done called The Village, which was a similar sort of thing about following two young people in a small Cotswold village and what their life is like there. And
number 6 is number 1.
Yeah, and that was so well done. So well done. Done by a brother and sister who are playing cousins on the show. And just, again, the characterization, their performance of it, just absolutely fantastic. It's inadvertently been a mockumentary week in our bedroom/living room this week. So 2 shows definitely worth checking out.
I think you might want to rephrase that unless Allison actually listens to the show, and then that wouldn't go over well.
No, it's our bedroom/living room right now. There's no bonus about it. That's what it is. It's not great. We'll have a kitchen and a living room and a bedroom once again one day. I have faith that will happen. They'll all be separate rooms. I
was talking about the mockumentary in the bedroom, and might not be a good.
Oh right, yeah. Well, yeah.
Never mind. You might want to cut that too.
Yeah. Just making work for me now. I don't know. And also a couple of movies I'm sure I got in. Bear with me just a second. Because I just watch such garbage all the time. God, I hope I actually have got something and I don't have to. Yeah, I haven't watched any movies. I have to edit all of that bit out.
Oh,
okay. So
okay.
there's that. Yeah. But okay, stop talking, Richard. You're freewheeling now. Anyone else go?
Go, Jen.
Me. Okay. I finally watched all of Sherlock Series 4. You're right, Rich. The ending was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But my God, Mrs. Hudson throughout the whole season was epic. I mean, how can you describe it when she freaking drives an Aston Martin and she does her housework to Iron Maiden? I mean, come on! Mrs. Hudson is the shit.
What was that whole realization about her when I think it was how would you got an Aston Martin?
She says, I'm the ex-wife of a drug dealer and I own property in London. What else?
Yeah, like, how have we not twigged? Of course she's fucking loaded. She owns rental property on Baker Street, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hudson's proper minted, as they would say.
Yeah. And she
Is
apparently
she Sherlock's
does her housework.
landlady?
She is, yes.
And
okay.
she apparently
I've only
does
watched the first episode.
she does housework to Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast, apparently. I was like, of all songs for her to be listening to and bopping along to while she's vacuuming.
Because she's
really?
a dainty old lady, Rick. That's the thing.
That's the joke.
She's supposed to be making tea and cakes. That's what she's supposed to be doing, but she's anything but that. And, oh God, that's right. Yeah, the moment in People Just Do Nothing when the one guy goes to visit his gran in the old people's home and she's just more street than any of them. And she's slipping him her back pills under the coffee table. Like, have a couple of them, son. They're fucking mental. Like, why can't this little old lady in a nursing home? I can just ask for more. Oh, where are my pills? I've lost my pills. I'm so forgetful. Oh, yeah. Best nan ever. Oh, dear.
Yeah,
well, Grace Slick is an old woman now, so think about it.
She's still hot.
Yeah. Well,
so is Helen Mirren, but we've already talked about that.
But I'm just saying the time frame has shifted so that people that are elderly now were the wild kids in the 60s. So
true. Mrs. Hudson, they just set her up as don't be deceived by appearances kind of person, basically. But But she's the highlight of pretty much all the series.
She is a scene stealer. Well,
she is.
But did you enjoy the series as a whole?
All 3 episodes, yes.
Yeah.
The ending was a little bit of a predictable letdown.
Fair enough.
I mean, I pretty much predicted it almost from the beginning what was going to happen. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else, but as a whole, it was very enjoyable. It's kind of sad, but enjoyable. I will say it, I have seen the new Beauty and the Beast, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Because, well, part of it was, of course, who could have thought Emma Watson could sing?
We don't know that she can. Hang on. Is it her singing, or did they get a voice person?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
I'm sorry to jump on you this quickly, Emma. I don't wish to. It's just, I've been around the block a few times. I know how these things work, and I hope it's you. I really hope it's you. I have faith in you as a talented performer that it could well be you, but, I've been burned before.
I was jumping on Emma Watson. I'd hope it was her, too.
Oh. Going from one spectrum to the other. Okay, Rick. Okay. But they filled in a lot of questions that were left unanswered in the animated version, like, why is it everybody in the village doesn't realize there's a castle right up the hill?
Yeah, what is the deal with that? I've been sat watching the original wondering what the fuck is going on with that.
They actually explain it in this version. They also changed it because one of the things that was on my mind was, okay, so her dad's this like eccentric inventor. How does he make money? And they fixed that in this film. It turns out in this version, he is a clockmaker. And the inventive one is Belle.
That's a better idea. Do you know what else? I'm doing this. The shit that's been bugging me about Beauty and the Beast. In the prologue, the little bit of explanation as to why the gypsy turns up at his house and just turns him into a beast because she doesn't like him. First of all, leave him the fuck alone, right? He might be an arsehole, but he was in his house minding his own business, and you just turned up at his front door and he wouldn't help you. Because, people just let strangers sleep in their houses. That's reasonable, isn't it? And you, turn him into a monster. I feel bad for him, really. I don't think he's in the wrong at all there.
Well, that's also sort of explained in this version as well. So, they filled a lot of gaps with a lot of questions that were left unanswered in the animated one.
And then they're like, this rose thing that will bloom until the day of his 21st birthday. So, Beast is 20 years old. And we know he's been Beast for a number of years in this castle.
It actually says clear. 10 years in the Beer Gas song.
What fucking child answered the door and didn't let this old woman in, so she turned him into this little boy. And she decides he's an arsehole, so he needs to be turned into a beast. What the fuck is going on? If an old woman rings your doorbell late at night, smash her the fuck in and get out of there. That's my advice based on this movie.
In this version, he's actually closer to 16 when it happens.
That's much better. That's better. Because, if it's in the animated version, this 10-year-old. Why is the 10-year-old answering the door of his own fucking castle anyway? What's going on with that?
He's got servants for that. They turned into furniture.
Yeah, all those servants. Where's the guy whose job it is to answer the door? It should have been him turned into the beast. The kid should have never even known there was someone at the door. Really?
They also explained what happened to Belle's mom and his parents. You'll have to see the film to see exactly why and what happened, but overall, they make it much more sense why people do the things that they do.
Good.
So, that was what I was most happy with, is that they explained things better.
Yeah,
it wasn't just
good.
Suddenly she was at the castle and suddenly she, started liking him. No. There's actually a gradual reasoning for it. And another one of the questions that I had all this time was, okay, so he's got that giant library of books in that house, right? And it seemed like in the animated version, he never touched a single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, in this one, yeah, he's very learned. And that's how they start actually bonding, was that they were reading books together. So
makes sense. See, I think I'll enjoy the film a lot more than the animated version.
You will. It's actually quite interesting. I found out Emma Watson turned down La La Land to be in this, and Ryan Gosling turned down Beauty and the Beast to be in La La Land.
Well, funny how these things work out.
Yeah, but everyone did really good. You have, of course, Sir Ian McKellen as the clock. You got Ewan McGregor as the candlestick.
He's got to work.
Were you horribly corrupted by the fact that there was a gay character?
No.
He didn't give you gay.
No, it didn't give me the gay. Actually, what I was laughing at when we got done, I was like, okay, there's actually 2 interracial relationships in this film. Nobody had a shit fit about that. They had a shit fit about a gay character.
Yeah. I've been noticing that with The Flash. There's like at least 2 interracial relationships, and nobody's complaining about that, which I think is a great thing. There's progress.
The gay thing is the next step. So.
Yeah.
And since I have seen Moulin Rouge, God help me, I know that Ewan McGregor actually can sing, and he does his own singing.
Wait, you gathered that from Moulin Rouge?
I was going to say, whoa, I too have seen Moulin Rouge and would use that in an argument the opposite way. But that's just me. I hated Moulin Rouge and everything Baz Luhrmann ever touched.
Hey, Rich, I am female and I hate that movie.
There's like 5 of you in the world.
Fucking awful movie.
Part of it is that I think Nicole Kidman is not talented whatsoever.
Thank you.
Think she's that attractive.
All of that. I totally agree with all of that you just said. That is all correct.
And especially at the Oscars with her seal clapping thing. What the fuck was up with that? Oh, she's come out and said, "Oh, I was wearing this ring, and if I couldn't let it touch it." What?
If it made me clap like that, I wouldn't wear the ring. Don't wear the ring.
I've just never found her appealing to watch.
She's not, is she? There's just nothing to her, and you can't tell what expression she's wanting to put across anymore.
Well, because she's done so much plastic surgery to her face.
She's just permanently smiling, which I don't feel will work for most films. So I've never been a Nicole Kidman fan. Certainly never thought she was like...
She was Vicky Vale, right?
No, that was Karen Basinger.
Kim Basinger.
And I don't like her either, but they've both been Oscar winners, and I think they both don't have any talent.
I'd take Kim Basinger over Nicole Kidman any day of the week. That's not even a discussion. That's
most of that Kim Basinger did in the first Batman film was scream all over the place.
LA Confidential, man. LA Confidential. Come on.
Oh, yes.
I watched it and I didn't like her in that either.
Oh, that's mean.
Dreadful.
No. What? What?
I didn't like Pulp Fiction either.
Pulp Fiction is you have to be in the right frame of mind for it. Well, speaking of Rick,
oh my God.
Okay, go back, Rick. Have you seen Inglourious Basterds yet? We're going to start bugging you about that now.
Okay. Here's the deal with that movie. First of all, it's not available anywhere without me having to buy it, and that's not fucking happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, the more I think about it, all right, I don't particularly like war movies. I really don't like Tarantino movies, so I really don't have a whole lot of motivation to watch this film.
Technically, it's not a horror. It takes place during a war period, but it's not really a war film.
How so?
There's no actual battle. There's no actual battle scenes in it.
Yeah,
but it's about people killing people, right?
Well, that's in every Tarantino film.
So,
well, the world was a bad place at the time, Yeah,
and I dig that, and I if you like war films, that's great. And if you like Tarantino films, that's great. Although most of my problem with Tarantino films is because of Tarantino fans.
Right, I accept that it's about people killing people, but the person they're trying to kill is Hitler. So it's like the ultimate, like, you're supposed to be okay with who they're trying to kill. They're not.
Yeah.
But is he the only one that?
Well, no.
They pretty much kill most of the Nazi party in one
war
go.
is hell. That's just the way it is. But
but
it's not like there's indiscriminate sort of it's just a film about killing. I feel that I'm now trying to defend Inglourious Basterds far more than it probably deserves.
Just Christoph Waltz by himself is the reason to watch the film.
Yeah, you're right there. And watching Brad Pitt do something else again is all quite entertaining. And I still want to know if you identify Mike Myers in it. That really is the point. If I don't care whether you like it, I just want to know if you see Mike Myers in the film.
My main problem is that I'm not paying $10 to watch it.
I'm totally on board.
I understand.
That.
Yeah,
I'm totally on board with that. So yeah, I get that. That's cool.
Well, if you catch it on, you don't have cable. Shit.
No.
One day it will be on Netflix. I'm sure it has been on and has gone off and will be again, and all of that sort of thing. Do you have Amazon Prime Video as well?
I do, but it's not for rental. It's only to buy.
But I mean,
Tribbles. Sharon just came back out with 2 Tribbles on rings. What is that?
I went triple hunting in the arts and crafts store and found this one for Mommy and this one for me, and one with kitty ears for Brielle.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm still recording, honey, so please go in the other room. Okay. Since you didn't get one for me.
Oh, no triple for Daddy.
Oh, you're gonna get one for me tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's pretty much what
Sharon,
I watched.
Sharon, go in the other room and close the door, please.
So once Sharon's left, it's your turn, Rick.
Hang on. What?
I used up all my bubbles, and I spilled a lot at the corner on the way on the exit part of the porch, and some at the place where I sit down.
Okay, we'll clean it up later. Thank you.
And then I fell on my butt.
Your butt's all wet. Does your mother know your butt's all wet? Okay, go.
Sorry. That to me
Bye, honey.
That's parenting right there. It's having a person in your house who you suddenly discover is wet and you don't know why. That's what it is. That's wonderful. That's all of it distilled down into a little microcosm right there.
Yes, and being a parent and a pet owner means you are far more involved with the excretory habits of other creatures than yourself.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Why are you wet? What have you? Oh God. Yeah.
Moving right along.
Yeah, it's your go anyway. What have you seen? Anything?
Are you done, Jen?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. I've watched a few things. I would like to say The Expanse is still amazing and still kicking ass. If you think that episode 5 of this season was the end of the show, it is not by any stretch. That was kind of the end of the first book. If you're familiar with the books, I haven't read them, but I know that the first book takes up the entire first season and 5 episodes of the second season. And now we're going on into the aftermath of what happened then. And I'm still loving it. I watched the first 3 episodes of Iron Fist last night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring as fuck.
I think lots of people have said that.
Yeah. I'm giving the writers the benefit of the doubt that they are acting on the assumption that the people watching the show know the character from the comics and are invested in the character. I'm being generous with that because they are doing absolutely nothing to make me give a shit about this guy. And so the story is this guy, Danny Brand, shows up in New York City after being presumed dead for 15 years. And he's disheveled, he's barefoot. His father owns 51% of this company that's just this megacorp. And he shows up at the corporate headquarters looking like a homeless person and fights his way up to the top and I'm Danny and I'm back. And everybody's like, bullshit. No, you're not. Throw this homeless guy in an insane asylum. And then we spend almost 2 full episodes watching him strapped to a bed. I'm not spoiling anything here, folks, because there's nothing to fucking spoil yet. And it's watching paint dry is more exciting. I haven't totally given up on the series yet, but if nothing happens in the next episode or 2, I'm done. Okay. You guys, I don't know if either of you have seen any of the 70s live action Saturday morning superhero shows. There was Shazam and ISIS and are the two I'm mainly thinking of. Although the Incredible Hulk kind of falls into this category too, wherein you've got for the first 2 a 30-minute show and the second one is an hour-long show. 90% of the show is the secret identity person doing stuff, and then you've got a few minutes of the actual superhero at the end. This show is like that, only you've got maybe 95% of the show is watching what happens to Danny, and then there's like a couple of action scenes. And it's just, I am so bored with this show. I don't hate it. It's not like Jessica Jones where it's like, oh my God, this is so unpleasant, I can't bear it. But right now, if the show was taken off of Netflix, I wouldn't notice and I wouldn't care. There are some good things. Carrie Ann Moss is in it, and it's always great to see her. Talking back to the Matrix, and I didn't look up her name. There's a woman who runs a dojo who kind of he becomes sort of, she's his friend kind of thing. She's really cool. She's a great martial artist, and also she's certainly attractive, but not in like the classic 6.5 foot tall, thin as a rail supermodel kind of look. You know, she's kind of short and hippie, and you can believe her when she beats up somebody, which is kind of cool to see. Other than that, I cannot recommend anything about this show, and it's kind of sad to say because I have, I never said that Jessica Jones was a bad show. I didn't want to be that miserable. But Luke Cage and Daredevil are just incredibly awesome. Although there is certainly a Marvel template for these heroes, and I get that, but it's like angst, hero, angst. So I'm at this point 3 episodes in, whereas at this point with Luke Cage and Daredevil, I was totally hooked. I'm like, I don't know. And I haven't heard a whole lot from other people about Iron Fist saying, oh, no, just stick it out. It's going to get a lot better. I just kind of keep hearing, oh, yeah, it's kind of a slow burn, but it gets better as it goes along. Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch it, though. That's the problem.
Well, we all have to. I haven't touched it yet either.
Yeah, but I'm in no rush. I'm really in no rush. I've been enjoying.
I'll be happy to be proven wrong if it's just a slow burn and once it kicks in, it's going to get great. But I haven't heard that from anyone yet. I've just heard it's kind of slow, but it's all right. And that's hardly a ringing endorsement.
Oh well, that's a shame.
The other, but they can't all be winners. They can't knock every episode, every show out of the park. So I will say, watching it, all of the wailing and gnashing of teeth about the fact that the Iron Fist is not an Asian character. You know, the character never was.
No,
And
he was a white guy in the comic books.
Yeah, and I can dig the argument. You know, it's, you know, here we've got the white guy coming in and saving all of the poor ethnic people. I'm not seeing that yet. I'm seeing a white guy whose plane crashed in the Himalayas and was taken in by a vaguely Asian monastery and taught how to do this stuff. But, you know, there was a lot of complaining that this would have been this was a missed opportunity to make the main character Asian. And watching this story, that's not what it's about. If the main character was Asian, the story would be completely different. Now we can argue, you know, you can argue over whether the story in it, you know, the original concept was bad, or was, you know, was the, you know, the white man coming in and saving the poor ethnic people. That I is neither here. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into it. But if Danny Brand was Asian, I don't know that it would necessarily be working. You know, because kind of the whole point is that he's the son of this rich white guy, and nobody's believing him. So I don't know that the ethnicity really even matters, or if it would have. Yeah, I don't know. I probably don't care, and that's kind of the big problem with this show is I don't care.
In which case, it's probably good they didn't put an Asian person in then, because is that what you want? They bring in an Asian superhero and it's shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, let the white guy take that hit. There's plenty of them to go around. You know?
Another thing I noticed today, I don't know if it's on English Netflix or anywhere else, but Operation Oman, which was the documentary made by Tristan O'Field, is now available on Netflix.
Yay!
It's on Amazon Prime here. Is it on? Is it?
I saw an ad on Facebook that said Operation Oman is on Netflix now.
Awesome.
So I highly recommend it. It's a really good documentary. It's about a war nobody knows about, or very few people know even happened. And you know, Tristan's an awesome guy. So
yeah,
check it out.
And then one day you meet this little old man in his house, and he tells you about this war and other things, and you suddenly realize that you're terrified of him.
The other thing has nothing to do with movies or anything, but I just want to say thank you to whoever it is, and I don't recall offhand who it was, but someone, I think one of y'all that's listening, recommended that I listen to the book We Are Legion, We Are Bob, and I'm really, really loving this book. It's awesome.
We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
Yes. The premise is, okay, it starts off with this guy, Bob, who is a software engineer.
Okay.
And he had sort of a smallish web company, and they got bought out for like billions. And so the beginning of the book is they're having a party in Las Vegas to celebrate the fact that their little startup just made them all rich. And he just like signed the papers on with a cryogenics company that if he dies, they will freeze his head, you know, that kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he's killed in a car accident 3 pages later. He wakes up as an AI in a lab where in a future 100 years later, where quote unquote corpsicles no longer have any rights, but they're being used as kind of a template to create these computer programs to operate space probes. And I don't want to say anything more, but it goes on from there.
Sounds interesting.
And it's really cool. And the guy Bob is like one of us. He's constantly making Star Trek and Star Wars references and stuff, and you know, all kinds of pop culture references. And it's just when I posted on Facebook to because I had put out a quest. I was like, you know, hey, I've got a couple of Audible credits. I'm looking for some hard science fiction. Can I get some suggestions? And of course, I got a bunch of them. And somebody, and I wish I could remember who it was, recommended We Are Legion. And I was like, that really has kind of piqued my interest. And so I went back on afterwards. I said, you know what? I'm about an hour into this book and it's awesome. And then I went back just because I was curious. Am I really an hour in? I was 3 hours in to listening to this book, but it goes by so fast. I was like, I've only been listening for an hour, and it's just amazingly well written, well performed, just a lot of fun. So we are Legion. Parentheses, we are Bob. I highly recommend it.
I might well look at that. I could do with a good audio book again, I think. Well, that's us for this week then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you had a good time listening, everybody. I'm going to have a good time editing. That's going to be fun. And I hope you join us next week for some more movie news, and that some movie news occurs between now and next week. Failing that, I do look forward to finding out what Hugh Jackman eats in between takes. I'm thinking Doritos.
I'm thinking babies.
He doesn't eat babies. That's Bryan Singer.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like to support our network and our show and my general well-being, the best way to do that is, well, just send me millions of pounds. But failing that, bob on over to simplysyndicated.com/everything, sign up to Simply Everything, and then you can go and listen to me say some horrible things about transgender people 10 years ago. That's great. And lots of other things as well. I confess to crimes, to other abuses of minorities, all kinds of things, really. It turns out I was actually quite evil at one point, and all the evidence is there. Go and listen to it. Hey, I've tried everything else. Why not that? We also have
There's a reason we used to call him Evil Emperor Sexy Time.
That's right. I was actually evil. Actually evil. Yes. I did it all. Insurrection, genocide, you name it. The lot. It was all there. Held the world to ransom a couple of times for $1 billion.
And he has a big scar running down the side of his face.
I do.
That's right. But he doesn't have a kitty sitting in his lap that he strokes.
No, I have a small dog. Oh,
you have a big dog?
Yeah.
You have a big dog.
Yeah, I do.
It's Rick who has the small dog.
I have a small dog, yes.
Yeah, he's a big dog. Very large.
Say good night, Rich.
Good night, Rich. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.